Imagine this. Your family pays off your brother's house but leaves you out on the street. At dinner, they raise a glass to the only one worth saving, and it's not you. 2 weeks later, you evict them from the house that always belonged to you. This isn't fiction. This is my story. And here's how it happened. When my parents completely paid off my brother's mortgage but left me to face eviction on my own, they didn't even bother to check in on me. Not a single call to see if I was okay. At Sunday dinner, my mom looked me square in the face and said, "Stone cold, you've always been the dead weight pulling this family under." My dad let out a laugh and followed it up with, "Why waste even a cent on a screw-up?" Then he raised his glass toward my brother and toasted, "To the only one who's actually worth saving." I just sat there frozen, totally numb. Then I looked at them and said, completely calm, "Thanks for finally killing off whatever was left." And with that, I stood up and walked out. 2 weeks later, I made a move that changed everything. Took everything, honestly. And they were left completely stunned. 2 weeks after that, the same people were begging me to forgive them. So yeah, I guess this is my way of venting or raging or whatever this is. Because seriously, I don't even know anymore if this is normal family dysfunction or if mine is just on some kind of elite level toxic. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of shaking while typing this. I literally just got back from what might have been the most miserable Sunday dinner of my entire life. The whole thing feels like a surreal fever dream, but I need to get it out somewhere. So here it is. And hey, I'm open to being told I might be the asshole in this story, but I really truly don't think I am this time. Just for context, I'm the younger brother. My brother, he's a year older, 33 now, has always worn the crown of the golden child. Like blatantly, he's the one who gets all the brand new stuff, all the he's still finding his way excuses, all the second chances. Meanwhile, I've spent my whole life hearing, "You should know better," and "Why can't you be more like him?" on an endless loop. It's been a thing forever, but I learned to live with it. Sucked, but whatever. Anyway, these last few months, they've been brutal. I lost my place, got behind on rent. Everything just snowballed. I won't drag you through the details of my money problems, but trust me, it got ugly. I did what I could. Sold some stuff, tried to stay afloat, even asked my parents for a little help. Not a handout, just a loan. All I got in return was a lecture about learning responsibility, and then total silence. No check-in, no support, nothing. Meanwhile, my brother apparently couldn't keep up with his mortgage payments either. I only found out because last week he joked about being finally debt-free, and I just sat there, completely confused. That's when he casually drops that our parents paid it all off. Just like that. Wrote the check, handled the paperwork, done deal. I didn't hear it from them. I heard it from him. They never said a word to me, like it was no big deal, just business as usual. So yeah, that's the setup. Honestly, I was trying not to take it personally, just kept my head down and tried not to spiral. Then I get this group text from my mom, Sunday dinner, family time, no excuses. I didn't even want to go, but I was crashing at a friend's place and figured, whatever. A warm meal sounded nice, and maybe it'd be a break from feeling like I don't even exist. So I show up. First thing I see when I walk in, my brother sitting at the table, scrolling on his phone, laughing at some stupid meme. He glances up at me and goes, "Hey, don't look so serious. Survivor's guilt isn't a thing, bro." I try to ignore him and take a seat, but right away I feel like I shouldn't have come. My dad's in this weirdly chipper mood, humming along to some random 90s playlist like we're living in a cheesy sitcom, and my mom's busy fussing over the food. Everything looks normal, but it feels fake as hell. Like we're all acting in some play where no one acknowledges I was practically left for dead. The whole vibe is tense, awkward. My mom keeps asking my brother about his house. Is the new fridge working? Did the contractor fix that leak? He's loving it, basking in the attention, talking about new appliances like he's suddenly a responsible adult. Nobody asked me anything, not one mention of my eviction. It's like we've all silently agreed to pretend it never happened. Don't speak of the shame. I try to steer the conversation, bring up a movie I watched recently or whatever, And my dad just shrugs it off and goes right back to grilling my brother about his financial plans. At that point, I don't even know why I opened my mouth. Then completely out of nowhere, my mom sets her fork down, locks eyes with me, and says, just flat out, you know, you've always been the anchor dragging this family down. No buildup, no anger, just cold rehearsed truth, like she's been waiting years to say it. I just sit there stunned. My brother starts laughing, like it's the punchline to some inside joke. And my dad, he actually slow claps, then says, why throw money at a failure? He raises his glass to my brother, already half drunk, and toasts, to the only one worth saving. The room goes dead silent. I'm not even angry at first, just hollow. I look at my brother, hoping he might say something, anything. But he just smirks and takes a sip of his drink like he's in on it. So I get up. My chair screeches across the floor so loud the dog in the other room starts barking. I tell them, thanks for finally bearing what was left, and start walking toward the door. My mom calls after me, don't you dare make this about you. But I'm already halfway down the hallway. My dad shouts, go ahead and run. That's all you ever do. And my brother mutters, classic, like it's the final punch. I grab my jacket and slam the door behind me. It rattles the wall so hard a picture falls and crashes to the floor. I hear my dad curse. My mom mutters something about me always being so dramatic. I don't stop. I keep walking. I get to my car, sit in the driver's seat, and I'm just stuck. My phone won't stop buzzing. The family group chat is blowing up. I mute it, toss the phone to the side, and just stare at the steering wheel, not even sure what to do next. I pull out of the driveway and don't look back. No one follows me. No one really calls. They just go back to their dinner like nothing happened. Honestly, it felt like I could vanish and they'd barely notice. So yeah, that was my night. And I'm not even sad about it. I'm just done. Like completely done. If they want to label me the anchor that's been dragging them down, fine. But I'm not sinking with their ship anymore. And if they think I'm just gonna let all this slide, yeah, no. That was the final straw. I'm done being the punchline in their little group chat. They have no clue what's coming their way. Anyway, I just needed to get this out of my system. I'll update if anyone's interested, but honestly, I think I've hit that point where I finally start doing things for me. For once, not for them. Update 1. Okay, didn't expect to be back here so soon, but just sitting around stewing in silence wasn't cutting it. That last post blew up way more than I expected. Huge shout out to everyone who told me to go full nuclear. For real. Y'all understood. I didn't get a chance to reply to everyone, but I read most of the comments. Not gonna lie, it felt like, for once, I had an army behind me. I'm still pissed, yeah, but I don't feel quite so alone anymore. Not like I did sitting in that cold driveway. So, thank you for that. After the dinner, I went back to my friend's place. He's chill, doesn't ask questions, just hands me the Wi-Fi password and keeps frozen pizza in the freezer. No pressure, no pity, exactly what I needed. I spent the next couple days watching TikToks and scrolling through group chats, kept muting the one from my family. They sent a few texts, nothing serious, then went radio silent. Like they expected me to feel guilty and crawl back. Spoiler. Not happening? The weirdest part? My brother suddenly starts flooding his Instagram stories with gym thirst traps, flexing like he's thriving, posting selfies from the house, talking about how independent he is. It was obviously for show, like he was performing for my parents or something. I just laughed, because let's be real, dude has no clue how to manage a single bill. They treat him like he's golden because he lets them feel like heroes. Me? I just remind them they're getting older. A few days later, I'm sitting at my friend's kitchen counter, eating cold cereal and zoning out. Then my phone buzzes. A text from my mom. Out of nowhere. Are you coming by to apologize? Like, what? She actually believes I'm the one in the wrong here. I leave her on red. A few hours later, she sends another. Your father is still upset. Cool, noted. Ignored that one too. Next day, I'm going through some old emails looking for address change documents, and I find this random one from Grandpa's lawyer. It's old, almost a year ago. I nearly delete it without thinking. but the subject line mentions the house title. I remember Grandpa always warning me, don't let them trick you out of what's yours. At the time, I thought he was just bitter because he never got along with my dad. But this time, I read every word. Turns out the house my parents have lived in for over 20 years, still in Grandpa's name. He never officially handed it over to them, and the email says, according to Grandpa's wishes, the property was left to me. I literally froze, spoon halfway to my mouth, just staring at the screen like it couldn't be real. I grabbed my backpack where I keep all my important stuff and found the original envelope. The paperwork was there. Notarized, signed, legit. I own the house, not them, not my brother, me. I called the lawyer just to be sure it wasn't some typo or weird scam. She was calm, professional, walked me through the whole thing again, said if I wanted to take legal possession, I had every right. She even offered to start the process for me. I hung up and just sat there staring into space. Was this too much? Was I seriously going to go through with this? Then I thought about that dinner again. The look on my mom's face. My dad laughing at me. My brother smirking. Me crashing on someone's couch while they celebrated in a paid-off home like I never existed. And suddenly I wasn't unsure anymore. I told the lawyer to move forward. She told me what I needed to send. I sent it. It didn't happen overnight, obviously. These things take time, but eventually it was official. She told me I had to give them legal notice to vacate. Minimum of 3 days. Same deal I got when I was evicted. I still have the text from my dad. Your time is up. Sort yourself out. The irony? Almost laughable. Still, my parents didn't reach out. At least not for real. My brother was too busy posting about his brand new TV, flexing like a clown for nobody. Meanwhile, I was handling everything behind the scenes. Title transfer, lock changes, moving truck reservations. I talked to the lawyer again. She confirmed everything was airtight. No shady loopholes, no drama. This wasn't theft. It was mine, given to me by the one person in the family who actually saw me. And the truth is, if they had just treated me like a human being, like family, I probably wouldn't have even considered doing this. But they made their bed the night they buried me at that dinner table. So the day comes. I show up with a plain folder in hand. I ring the doorbell. My mom answers, all cheerful like nothing ever happened. "Oh, so you've decided to come back," she says. My dad is slouched in his chair, glued to his phone. Doesn't even glance up. My brother's in the kitchen, drinking a protein shake, wearing that same smug smirk. I hand my mom the folder and say, "This is a legal notice. You've got 72 hours to move out." She doesn't even read it at first, just laughs and says, "Stop being ridiculous." Then she passes it to my dad. He finally looks up, and his face goes bright red. He looks at the letter, then at me, and says, "You can't do this. You're bluffing." He shoots up so fast his chair scrapes into the wall behind him. Then my brother storms over, gets right in my face, and says if I try anything, he'll make sure I regret it. I don't flinch. I just meet his eyes and give him the same cold stare my mom gave me at dinner. "Check the paperwork," I tell him. "It's not your house. It was never theirs either." My mom grabs my arm and says I'm being heartless. She tells me Grandpa never would have wanted this. I pull away and she slaps me. Not hard, just enough to try and remind me who I'm supposed to be. Still, I don't even react. 72 hours, I say calmly. My dad starts shouting, calls me ungrateful, threatens to call everyone he knows. "Go for it," I say. "I'm not scared of you anymore." Then I walk out, slam the door behind me, and head toward my car. My brother follows, shoves me in the driveway trying to start something, but I hold my ground. We're the same size, and he's always expected me to cave, but I don't. He calls me pathetic, says I'm destroying everything. I look him dead in the eye. "You destroyed it first." Then I get in the car and drive away. The next few days, strangely quiet. My phone keeps lighting up with messages from my mom. Things like, "You're not thinking straight. You're tearing this family apart." Then there's my dad. "You're dead to me." I ignore them all. My brother starts calling, then moves to angry texts, then full-on threats, and then begging. I save every single message, just in case. especially before I get the locks changed. I line everything up, schedule the moving truck. Neighbors start to notice something's up when a for sale sign appears in the yard. I know my parents still think I'm bluffing. I can tell because my aunt calls trying to guilt trip me. Your mom's heartbroken. Your dad can't sleep. Your brother's devastated. I tell her straight up, I'm not changing my mind. She hangs up. Guess the word is spreading. One night I drive past the house. All the lights are on. Through the window I can see my dad pacing the living room and my mom just staring out, like she's waiting for me to show up. They look so small from the street, so defeated. But I don't feel bad. I just feel done. Tomorrow's the final day. I don't know what they'll do, but I'm not budging. I'm not the anchor anymore. I'm the guy with the deed. I'll update again once it's finished. I want to say I'm nervous, but really, I'm just ready. They wanted me to feel invisible. Now they're going to find out what that really feels like. So yeah, today's the day. Moving day. I wake up earlier than I need to, restless. Can't even drink my coffee in peace because my phone won't stop buzzing. My mom's sending texts like little guilt grenades. She's trying to change the subject, asking if I want my old baby pictures, if I'm still mad, if I'm really showing up with a moving truck. Then my dad jumps in. If you come here, I'm calling the cops. He says he's talked to people who'll make sure I regret this. I mute them both. I double-check my bag, make sure I've got all the documents. Everything's there. Every signature. Every page with my name on it. All legal. Driving over is weird. My hands are shaking, not from fear, but because I know this is it. This is the moment the line gets drawn. Part of me thinks maybe, just maybe, I'll pull up and they'll be gone. Packed up. House empty. Nope. I get there, and the whole driveway is jammed. My brother's car, my parents, even my aunts. Like they summoned the whole support squad for a final showdown. It's so on brand I almost laugh. My brother's already on the porch with his arms folded, trying to look tough. He doesn't say a word, just stares like he's waiting for a fight. I walk up and hand him a cease and desist. My lawyer said to deliver it in person, since he's not on the deed and keeps making threats. He rips it up in front of me, tosses the pieces on the ground, and tells me I'm a joke. Says I'm just wrecking the family because I never fit in. I tell him flat out, get off the property or I'm calling security. He steps in closer, but I don't move. My dad wedges himself between us, yelling in my face that I'm not man enough to go through with this. My mom's behind the screen door, crying loud enough to make sure all the neighbors hear. She keeps repeating that I'm punishing her for loving my brother, that I'm throwing away our family over one little mistake. My aunt's there too, trying to calm her down, but all she's really doing is adding fuel to the drama. Then my dad storms back inside, slams the door so hard it rattles. A few seconds later, he comes back out, shirt half tucked, face beet red. He points at the ground and says, if you don't get off my lawn, I'll drag you out myself. I hold the title up right in front of his face. It's not your lawn, I say. Not anymore. Right then, the moving truck pulls up. The looks on their faces, pure shock. My brother shoves the driver, trying to block the way, but the guy just shrugs and looks to me for the green light. My dad tries to slam the front door again, but I'm already unlocking it with the new key. I step inside and tell them they've got until the end of the day to gather their things and leave. My mom's in the kitchen, rummaging through drawers, grabbing random stuff, crying that I'm breaking her heart, but I don't respond. I just keep repeating, 72 hours. I gave you the same time you gave me. That's all I said when I handed over the notice. My brother tried to grab my arm in response, but I shoved him off. Didn't hit him, just enough force to make him stumble. He started shouting, going off about how he's paid more bills in that house than I ever did, how I don't understand what it takes to keep a place running. I almost laughed, because the only thing he ever really did was brag about how much mom and dad handled for him. Then my dad tried to get in my face, but I just stared him down. And for once, he actually backed off, mumbling to himself about how Grandpa always resented him, how this house was probably his last shot at something real. By then, the neighbors had started trickling outside, pretending to grab the mail or walk their dogs. But we all knew what they were really doing, watching the chaos unfold. My mom was flailing her arms, yelling like I was dismantling the family on purpose, screaming that I'd regret this. But nobody stopped me. The movers just kept doing their job, packing furniture, carrying boxes, lining everything up on the lawn like it was any other day. Then my aunt stepped in. She told my mom to quit making a scene, said she warned them this would happen if they kept pushing me out. That lit a match. My dad hurled his coffee mug at the wall, shattering it, screaming that I'd never be welcome in the family again. Honestly, I almost chuckled. Like now I'm unwelcome? Newsflash. My brother tried to take another swing at me, this time shoving me hard against the doorframe. I didn't swing back. I just looked him dead in the eye and said, "Touch me again, and I'll press charges." That stopped him cold. He stood there, breathing heavy, then stormed out onto the porch and kicked the railing so hard it cracked. Meanwhile, I was walking room to room, checking corners, making sure nothing got left behind. My mom followed me the whole time, sobbing, asking if I remembered when she used to tuck me in at night. She brought up birthdays, holidays, every warm memory she could scrape together. "I remember everything," I said. "That's exactly why I'm doing this." She slapped me on the shoulder, not even hard, just a desperate swing, like she was hoping it would jolt me back into place. But I didn't stop. By the time the truck was full, the front lawn looked like a clearance sale. Furniture stacked in piles, random bags from the kitchen, my brother's old gaming chair crooked on the grass. The neighbors were still lurking, pretending to water plants or toss tennis balls to their dogs. Nobody said a word. My dad was pacing across the yard, barking into his phone, probably begging someone to take them in. My mom had sunk to the front steps, head in her hands, shoulders shaking as she cried. I walked over, handed my brother the last box of his stuff and told him, "If you show up here after today, you're trespassing." He stared at me, jaw tight, like he had something to say, but nothing came out. My dad was yelling again. "This isn't over," he screamed. "You'll pay for this." I looked at him calmly and said, "You made your choices. Now I'm finally making mine." Once the movers pulled out, I locked the door behind them, closed the curtains, and just stood there. There was no sense of triumph, no applause, just my dad shouting outside and my mom's cries slowly fading. I wasn't happy. I wasn't angry. I was just done. As I drove off, I saw my brother sitting on the curb, head in his hands. My dad chucked a chair into the street like a toddler having a tantrum. And my mom? She was still on the lawn, motionless, like she was waiting for someone, anyone, to come and rescue her. But I didn't feel guilty, not even a little. They did this to me again and again. And now, they finally know what it feels like to lose everything because someone else decided they weren't worth saving. I honestly thought that once the movers were gone and I locked the door behind me, that would be the end of it. That maybe it would be quiet, over. I was wrong. The fallout has been an absolute circus. And me, I'm just watching it all unfold, like I got stuck front row at a show I never even wanted tickets to. The first thing that struck me was how still the house felt afterward. No sound, not even footsteps. Just the low hum of the old fridge buzzing in the kitchen. I stood there expecting to feel something, anger, peace, anything. But there was just silence. I picked up my phone, scrolling through missed calls, 30 notifications. Most were from my mom, a few from my aunt. One number I didn't recognize, probably my brother using someone else's phone. I cleared them all, put the phone face down, didn't want to hear it. After that, I stayed at my friend's place again. Didn't sleep much. My phone vibrated almost every hour. The voicemail started with rage. My dad called me a disgrace, said I'd regret this, that I'd pay. But by day 2, they changed. My mom's messages got shakier, longer, begging me to come back. Said they had nowhere to go. Said I was tearing the family apart. She claimed they were sleeping in the car in the driveway and that my dad was threatening to break the door down. I muted her number, blocked my dad. But I started to worry they'd actually do something reckless. So I unblocked them, just to keep tabs. One morning I drove by the house. Don't even know why. Maybe I just wanted to see if they were still there. Maybe I needed to see what rock bottom looked like from the outside. And what I saw, unreal. My dad, shirtless on the lawn, dragging furniture and boxes around like a madman, screaming into his phone like he was still trying to call in reinforcements. My mom, sitting on the grass, head down, like she didn't even have the energy to cry anymore. My brother was pacing back and forth, glued to his phone, not lifting a finger to help. And the neighbors? Out again, pretending not to watch. But you could feel every eye on them. The same people who looked past me for years were finally seeing the truth. And I didn't stop. I didn't wave. I just kept driving. I watch as my dad picks up a bookshelf and hurls it straight into the street. Then he turns, screaming, at the movers, at me, at the whole damn universe. My mom tries to stop him, grabbing his arm, but he shoves her off. Not violently, just enough to make her stumble. She falls to her knees right there on the lawn, sobbing. No one moves to help, not even the neighbors watching from their porches. Meanwhile, the calls keep flooding in. Every 5 minutes, a different number, a new voice, a fresh plea. Please, we need you. Please pick up. We'll do anything. My mom's voice sounds shredded, like it's been through a blender. My dad's messages bounce between rage and total breakdown. Even my brother chimes in eventually. Can we just talk? Can we fix this? But I know exactly what that means. He wants me to clean up the mess again. Then my aunt jumps into the chaos. She calls and says I'm destroying my mom, that I'm being heartless. I tell her straight, they made their choices. She hangs up on me. A message comes in from an old family friend. They're worried about my parents. They try to guilt me into letting them come back. I leave it on read. I'm not getting dragged into that spiral again. Then my brother tries to sneak back into the house, even after the cease and desist. I get an alert from the security system and drive over. I catch him in the act, trying to force the back door open like a clumsy burglar. He says he forgot something inside. I look him dead in the eye and tell him, next time, I'm calling security. No more warnings. He tells me I'm being petty, that I've taken it too far. I shut the door in his face. He kicks the fence as he leaves and lets out this frustrated yell, full volume. I just let him spiral. What stuns me is how quickly the tides turn. They really thought I'd fold. Just like always. Even now, my mom keeps leaving these long voicemails. Like maybe if she says the perfect combination of words, I'll crack and let them back in. My dad's messages are all over the place. 1 minute shouting, the next practically begging. Then he's threatening lawsuits or saying he'll get the neighbors involved. It's never their fault. Never a shred of accountability. Just endless blame, blame, blame. And I'm supposed to roll over like I used to. Then come the letters, actual, physical mail. Their new lawyer, probably someone cheap, sends these please reconsider notes. Nothing aggressive, just desperate attempts to talk things out. I call my own lawyer. Wild, right? That I have one now? And she says not to worry, just keep records. Don't engage. So I don't. But the fallout's starting to spread. Word gets around that my parents are staying at my aunt's place. Apparently, it's going badly. My aunt texts me, saying my dad's yelling at everyone. My mom won't stop crying. My brother stomps around like he owns the place. She asks if there's any way I can forgive and forget for the family's sake. I tell her, they made it clear who mattered. Let them live with it. People will probably say I'm being cold, that I've gone too far. But I don't feel guilty. This isn't a heartwarming movie where we hug it out in the final scene. They burned the bridge. Not me. My parents were always clear about why they treated me this way. My brother was the golden child, the polished product they showed off to the world. Even when he couldn't pay his own bills, he was the one who did things right. Me? I was just the background noise, the fallback, the reason they got to play victim in front of their friends. I was never the favorite. I was just the excuse. Now my phone won't stop buzzing. Sometimes I listen to the voicemails, just in case something serious happens. But most of them? I delete. I've changed the locks, set up security cameras, told my lawyer to handle any incoming letters. Their stuff's still sitting on the curb, slowly getting picked through by neighbors and strangers. My dad shows up every few days trying to guard it like it's sacred. yelling at anyone who even glances at it. But eventually it'll all be gone. And honestly, for the first time in years, I can finally breathe. No one hovering over me. No one gaslighting me into believing I'm the problem. No one calling me dead weight just for existing. I'm not the anchor anymore. They wanted me gone. Well, now they've got what they wanted. They just didn't expect it to come at a cost. I don't know what's next. I'm not expecting some grand emotional closure or anything. Maybe I'll fix up the house. Maybe I'll sell it. I really don't know yet. What I do know is this: I'm done living by their rules. They can keep calling. They can cry. They can rage. They can beg. I'm not picking up. So yeah, that's it. That's how this chapter ends. At least for now. If they ever find the courage to give me a real apology, maybe I'll listen. But I'm not holding my breath, because for the first time in my life, I get to decide what happens next. And I'm not wasting it.